Jeff Landry definitely knows how to pair a great wine with a great steak, but so do the chefs who work for the National Cattlemen's Beef Association and for the Cattlemen's Beef Board. That's why the groups held a pop-up dinner in New Orleans recently to remind food bloggers and journalists that beef is what's for dinner.
There's nothing like a party in New Orleans to get people talking. In this case, they're talking about what's for dinner, beef. And the people here are food bloggers and journalists from across the country meeting with chefs and cattle ranchers.
Well, I've always loved beef.
Whitney Bond lives in San Diego, California, and has her own food blog. A native of Oklahoma, she loves having ties to the beef industry.
I love coming to events like this where I can get new inspiration for the blog and really see how the beef is being produced, where it's being produced, where the meat's coming from, and learn maybe some new tips and techniques on different cuts of meat that I'm not using on the blog that I can then share with my readers.
I'm a big believer in getting out of silos and communicating across silos. It's too easy for people just to get into themselves and not communicate with others.
Dr. Temple Grandin sees the value in an event like this because it exposes the followers of these food bloggers to new ideas and agriculture they may not see anywhere else. She says that's especially important for young people.
Students get interested in things they get exposed to. And we're finding in our Department of Animal Science that we'll have students that have had no exposure to the industry get exposed to it, find out they like it.
The majority of our society has never stepped foot on a farm, doesn't know a farmer, doesn't vote like a farmer. I mean, 98.5% of our society is not actively engaged in farming.
East Feliciana Parish rancher Amelia Kent also sits on the Cattlemen's Beef Board. She's glad that Chef Richard Brennan is here to show these bloggers how to prepare cuts of beef, because she finds that can seem daunting to younger consumers.
One of the dynamics within the beef industry that we have a challenge with is a young consumer not knowing how to cook many of our cuts, our beef cuts. So having a preparation demo, especially to this food blogging influencing audience, is great because frankly, beef can be simple.
For Bond, getting fresh ideas just feeds her passion to teach others to love cooking and eating together as much as she does.
Now the fact that there are thousands of people out there every day making recipes that I've made for their families just really warms my heart and makes me happy.
It's always an honor to speak with Dr. Temple Grandin. Aside from this pop-up event, there are two other places you can go to get great information about beef. One of them is the National Cattlemen's Beef Association convention held this year in New Orleans. That's going on next week, and we're going to have lots of that for you in next week's show. The other is right there from Alexa or Google. If you have an Amazon Echo or a Google Home device, you can add on the Chuck Knows Beef extension to it and then ask anything about beef, whether it's recipes, about cuts of beef, what temperature to cook it to. I went and spoke with Chuck a little bit earlier, and now I have a great skirt steak recipe. Still to come on Twyla, it's crawfish time, and we have the prices you need to go out and get some of your favorites. But first, we're going to take a ride over to the stables and check out some beautiful Louisiana thoroughbreds. Stay with us.